Hey guys, so surprise, my surprise, which you guys saw in the flip through, was I decided instead of taking out that final page protector, I would squeeze in two extra layouts with blank photo spots. So you guys gave me the idea of making a couple extra pages so that they can add a couple pictures of Mike with the dogs. I'd mentioned in one of the comments when you guys had mentioned that I really couldn't get one of those pictures without tipping him off what I was doing because I've never taken pictures of him before in my life. And if I asked him to pose with a picture with his dogs, even if I tried to do it sneakily, I feel like he would know, or I really want this book to be a surprise. So I really feel like I couldn't get a picture of him with his dogs to include in the book. But as some of you mentioned, I could add them after the fact, or I could do this, which is what I decided to go with, and just make a couple extra pages with the photo area open so they can just glue in their own photos that they wanted to add. So I decided just to do two 4x6 layouts, one with a portrait, one with a landscape. Just so if he had a couple pictures he wished were in the book that he had that I didn't have, my mom could very easily just glue them in, and there you go. So I hope everyone is happy with that compromise. I'm definitely glad that I had time to get these last couple ones in. I think it was a really good idea. So thank you guys for that. The final page that I had in the book had a pink background, so I did just go through the 12 by 12 book and pull in another black and green paper. I'd pretty much gone through all of the pattern papers as my background, so these are repeat backgrounds, but I used these earlier in the book, so they're nowhere near each other. And again, just doing what I've been doing all month. You guys are probably very familiar with this process. For the black layout, I'm just pulling in a pink and a green, coordinating pattern to do my layers with, and then for the green background I will find a black and a pink. So I'm just working on this black background first. I decided to go with the watercolory black, and then one of the pink papers, I think that's the one with the kind of geometric squares on it. It's a very subtle pattern. You probably can't even pick it up from this camera angle. But I thought that would be nice. And then I needed a green, and this is the only green that isn't anywhere near this in the book. So I decided to go for that one. It's too small to matte the entire thing, but I've been doing these partial mattes throughout the book within layers. So I'm just going to do a partial matte with the green I have left. And then I'll do a full matte in that same pinky color as the notebook edge punch. And I think that works out well. Oh, it's the marbly. Did I use this one? That surprises me that I used that one because it's the same pattern as the background, but I guess you don't really notice. I like that contrast in the colors. I'm surprised to use the watercolor with the watercolor though. But yeah, so I thought at first I was going to fully matte it in that how you saw just then, but then I looked at the page that's going to be right next to this one, which is that final page you guys saw, and it's the same type of layering that I did. So then I decided to make this the landscape page and switch up my layers a little bit, instead of doing what I originally had planned. So I did just trim a tag out of a scrap of that same green, and then I made this layer shorter and added a notebook edge punch to the top for a little bit of detail. And I really like that actually a lot better than what I originally had planned. So that's pretty much what I ended up with. I think I go into the white hole reinforcer because the tag is so dark. And then I still need to glue all this together and ink it in black, but that's pretty much the base for this layout. And thankfully, now that I'm done with all my finishing touches, I can fully complete these pages so you don't have to wait for finishing touches. I'm going to go ahead and complete both of these right now so they can go in the book. You guys, if you saw the flip through, have already seen these in the final product. But I wanted you to see the process for them anyways, even though it's after Christmas. I thought about having this before the flip through so you really could see all the pages before the final process. But it was important to me, at least, that I got the flip through up several days before Christmas for anyone following along, so they could go ahead and see the final product if they needed any last minute, things to finish their own book. So I had an extra scrap piece of this green. I wanted a little something in the upper left-hand corner, so I'm just trimming a little banner. Again, banners are running throughout this book, and I don't want to forget about that now that I can add all of these tags that I've been adding. So I just decided to die cut a little pink heart, and then I think I go in and add a little black one as well. Yeah, just to create a little focal point up there as kind of my little embellishment for this page. Inking all that again in black, getting it all glued together, and then I will get to do the Heidi Swapp Color Shine, my white Nuvo drops that are trying very hard to run out on me. I am very proud of it for making it through these last 2 pages because it was empty. So yeah. And I actually remembered to do my word stickers as well. So I just added that one there, did my gold color shine, and then my poor little Nuvo drops. We make it through though. I'm so proud of it. I need to order some more white for sure. But yeah, white and black Nuvo drops are elite. I just need to always have it on hand. I love these as the finishing touches, and they're so much cheaper than enamel dots. So just adding little mini clusters. They're so cute. I'm trying to do them small so I have enough for this final page because I barely even got that out of the bottle. But with this final page, I have a green background, so I wanted a black and a pink. This black dashed paper I hadn't used much in the book, so I did want to pull it back in for this one. But again, these dashes are running vertically through every other page, so as much as I wish I could use this paper vertically, because my picture on this one is portrait, I need those dashes to be vertical. So instead of using that as a full mat, I will kind of rethink. But again, I wanted a pink border strip here. I think this is the pink square geometric pattern that I thought I used on the last page. But yeah, just getting that notebook edge down. And then I got to figure my layers out. It's definitely harder, surprisingly. Maybe not surprisingly, but it's a lot harder to layer on this little 8x8 size using a 4x6 than a 4x4. It just doesn't leave you a lot of space. But yeah, and then I still, surprising enough, had a little scrap of this film strip, and I found another scrap of vellum that was just long enough to kind of fill in a little bit more of this film strip for me to be able to squeeze it on one final page. So I'm just going to glue that vellum down and hopefully incorporate that on this last page just to kind of end on a strong note with this film strip that I've ran throughout the book as well. I'm thinking it'll just come out horizontally there, but it needs to dry a little bit. So I'm going to go in with this square pink paper as a full mat around the photo. And then another thing I wanted to pull in on my final page because it wasn't on the past several pages was a giant banner. So I'm going to actually run this black horizontal piece along the lower part of my frame and just trim it into a big fishtail banner just so that banner detail could be seen one more time. So I'm going to get that trimmed. Just trying to make sure however I space this, the layers are going to cover that whole punch that's on that black paper. And then you can just see I'm deciding to layer the film strip over the banner just to break up the big banner look and to get that detail down one more time. And then before I glue it all together, obviously I'm inking everything. Very proud of myself. I think I've inked everything throughout this book. I don't think I've forgotten anything. I was trying to be very careful. So now that that's down, I'm going to glue these final things together, and then we'll do our final finishing touches on the final page, and this project will be officially complete. And all of these videos I have put together in a playlist, so if you missed any of them, they should be in order. And and easy to view. So especially if you didn't do this project for Christmas, it's a great birthday gift as well. Mother's Day gift, especially if you do it of all the siblings and all the grandkids, it'd be a nice little gift for anybody. So I'm really glad I have this playlist of my process, at least, so you guys can follow it at any time. Got the film stripped down. I already had this green heart trimmed out of the same green background paper, so I figured I might as well go ahead and use it since this is the final page. And then again, on the final page, I wanted to get a couple of these word stickers down. So this is pretty much it. Adding my gold Heidi Swapp Color Shine, adding the last little bit of my white Nuvo drops, and we will be done. I'll bring the other page back in so you can see them together. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.